Welcome back to In the House with Beth and Ryan. I'm Beth, and this is Ryan.
Today, we are going to talk about our most popular topic. We do it a few times a year, and this is on neighborhood performance. And you get reports, I'm sure, or see reports every single month that give the total sales or the average price or the units sold. And they usually don't mean a whole lot to you because it's just a headline number. And so what we thought we would do today is, now that we're 1/3 of the way through the year, give you an update on how the market is performing in total, but also the neighborhoods that make up those sales. Because each neighborhood is different, every neighborhood is a micro part of Guelph, there are some key differences between neighborhoods. So we're going to dig into those today.
Generally, when we are looking at the numbers, whether it be for the market as a whole or for neighborhoods, we have three main metrics that we use to measure overall performance. Units sold, dollar volume, and then, of course, we look at average price. So if we're looking at the city of Guelph as a whole, so before we break it down by neighborhoods, the units sold are down. It's negative 12.8%. So that means less is happening in general. A little over 10% less is happening year to date. The next metric is the dollar volume. It's also down. It's down 17.3%. So the total numbers of dollars in sales is down, as well as units. And then the last metric, which is I think the one most people are the most interested in, is your average price. And it's also down. So the average price of a home in Guelph is down 5.1%.
Right. And this is the period of January 1st to April 30th
Right.
versus last year. And so now we're going to take a look at three of the neighborhoods that are rising, despite the fact that the market is declining, and three neighborhoods that are so far this year dragging the market down.
Okay, we're going to start on a positive note by looking at the top three neighborhoods that are gaining in terms of average price. Now, this is really just a jumping off point for other conversations that we can have, because average price is impacted by a lot of other metrics in the market as well. Okay, the first neighborhood, number one for average price increase is?
I think I know what it is, but it's not what I think.
Okay.
It's Kortright East. In fact, two of the Kortrights made the top three lists. Kortright East has an average price increase of 23.7% year over year.
First, we should let people know too who don't know where that neighborhood is.
Oh, right.
So Kortright East is east of Gordon and south of Stone Road.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It historically has been one of the most expensive neighborhoods in Guelph because there are usually larger detached homes.
Larger lots, more custom builds.
Yep, more custom builds. And so it is, as I mentioned, plus 23.7% on an average price basis. And this is something we're starting to see a little bit more of, which I think is impacting numbers. And neighborhoods like this are move-up buyers.
Right.
So these are people who are in maybe their first home that they purchased maybe, I don't know,
5-10 years.
5-10 years ago. Maybe they didn't have kids.
Yeah.
And now they're raising a family. We have a few clients in this situation where they're now raising families and need a bigger home, and they're moving up. And the price of the home they're selling is typically a little more competitive, but the more expensive homes are a little bit sluggish. So they're using that as an opportunity to move up and potentially save a little bit of money along the way as well. So that is one reason why Kortright East is seeing a bit of a gain.
Yeah. Number two.
Yep.
Another Kortright. This is Kortright Hills. Now, Kortright Hills is on the west side of the Hamlin, Highway 6, and maybe the other boundary.
Well, it would be by the YMCA.
Right.
And it would be on the west side.
Yeah. And similar to Kortright East, it's also larger detached homes, maybe slightly older neighborhood. Part of that neighborhood, I think, started to be built kind of in like the early 80s. That's where I grew up.
Yeah.
And this neighborhood is always a popular one. Great schools, nice walking trails, conservation areas.
Yep.
And that neighborhood is up 9.1% in terms of average price.
Right. The average price in Kortright Hills so far year to date is $1.1 million. It oftentimes, along with Kortright East, they sort of flip-flop back and forth between the highest average price. And It is, as Beth mentioned, large family homes, not very many condos or townhouses in that neighborhood, but that's why the average price is always high, is because they're typically single family homes that are selling there. And number three?
Number three is Dovercliffe / Old University.
Yeah.
So this is an interesting.
We've noticed this.
Kind of got there's kind of two separate sections. So there's the Old University neighborhood, which is right by the University of Guelph, and then there's the Dovercliffe area, which is adjacent to Kortright Hills, so west of the Hand.
They should actually be. It's such a large area and such a different type of home in each neighborhood. They should actually be two separate neighborhoods, but they get lumped together.
And like you were going to say, Ryan, we've noticed that the Old University neighborhood has been on fire this year.
Yeah.
Houses are being listed and selling quicker in that neighborhood, I would guess, than any other neighborhood in Guelph at this time.
It feels that way.
Feels that way?
We've had a couple sales there, and despite the fact that the average price is typically higher, $1 million plus, they tend to go quickly and with competition. We've had a couple sales in there so far this year, and they have all been in competition. So
and we didn't say the number though. The increase is 6.7% increase on average price.
Right. And is the mix changing? The mix is changing a little bit too. A little less condo and a little more detached homes. So,
and one thing that I've noticed, just as an anecdote, is that there seem to be fewer of the student type houses selling this year.
Yeah.
That neighborhood, at least the Old University part especially, does tend to have more homes that are being rented by students at the University of Guelph. But it feels like this year we're seeing a lot more of the higher end family homes sell. And it's also a neighborhood that's experiencing some infill. People are buying sometimes an older house that needs a lot of work, and they're choosing to tear it down and build a large custom family home.
Yeah. And we have seen sales that go quickly in this neighborhood of 1.3 million plus. We've seen even some in the 1.7 million go pretty quick.
Yeah.
So very expensive homes, but there's also a buyer for those homes in this market, in that neighborhood. Okay, now we're going to take a look at the three neighborhoods that have realized the largest decline in average price this year. And this simply doesn't mean that they are declining as a whole, that every house is down this percentage, but it means that we should look a little bit further into the details to figure out why the average price has declined. So there are reasons for each of these. So the first one, the biggest decline year to date, is in the Riverside Park neighborhood at minus 27.6% in average price.
Which is a huge decline.
Which is a huge decline.
Just isolated like that.
Yeah, if you look at it, and this is why it's important to look below the top number, because it's not that every price in Riverside Park has declined 28%. No. It's not at all. And this neighborhood is pretty diverse in that it has detached homes, so a lot of post-war bungalows, but it also has a lot of condos and condo towers. And the condo towers are much cheaper than the detached bungalows. And so this year in Riverside Park in particular, we've noticed a lot more condo sales have happened.
It's not that the value of a detached home or a condo is falling.
Right.
While they probably are falling ever so slightly like everything else. It's the mix of homes.
It's the mix of homes. Unit sales, so the number of houses that have sold in this neighborhood, is up 50% this year. And the majority of that is in condos. So
the second neighborhood for declining prices is Clearfields, and it's down 19%. And it's a similar story, I think, to Riverside Park. We're seeing a different mix of houses selling, and Clearfields is one of the neighborhoods that has experienced an increase in student-type housing, whether that is in a detached house, but it's more so in condos.
Yeah.
And so as we see the student market pushing further south in Guelph, it is dragging down the average price in those neighborhoods.
Yep. And we're also seeing a bit of pressure on prices of the detached homes that are the standard, typical, I would say, 3-bedroom, 2,000 square foot family homes. There are a lot of them. And there's a lot of pressure on those prices and those houses and those neighborhoods right now that have a lot of those. So it is a reason why prices are declining there. There's more of them available. A lot of buyers can shop around and negotiate harder on those homes. And so it is bringing the average price down of a detached home.
Okay. The last neighborhood that falls into this category is Exhibition Park. That's our own neighborhood where we are.
Yep.
And the average price in Exhibition Park is down this year, 16.9%. Now, if you look a little deeper, like we've been doing, what's most likely dragging this number down has to do again with the mix of houses that are selling. So Exhibition Park has actually seen very low inventory levels this year so far. And normally when we think about low inventory but high demand, which is what we're seeing in this neighborhood, you would expect to see prices going up. However, that's not the story here, because the type of home that we are seeing, it's the smaller bungalow, less expensive homes are the ones that have been coming available in Exhibition Park. And they are still selling quickly, but they are just selling at a lower price point than the larger family homes, which we have not seen very much of.
Yeah. And this is not just true for Exhibition Park. It's also happening in St. George's Park.
Yeah.
And
the downtown core.
And the downtown core, and to some degree, even in Old University, where there seems to be a lack of inventory between 900,000 and
1.3.
Yeah, in that range, there is sort of a segment that's missing. And I know because we do business in these neighborhoods, and we know that there are many realtors or buyers looking in that price point and are struggling to find something that they like. So when something does come up, it does oftentimes get a lot of attention.
Yeah.
But as Beth mentioned, there haven't been as many. So people are buying lesser priced homes.
In fact, I would say that the prices in Exhibition Park and St. George's Park and downtown core and Old University, the older neighborhoods in Guelph, they are declining less than other neighborhoods in Guelph as a whole.
Yeah. It's just there's less of them to sell. So the numbers are down.
This is just a summary of what's been going on in the real estate market so far this year. If you would like more information, feel free to check out our website.
Yeah, we're going to put an update there that talks about all of the neighborhoods and how they're performing year to date. You can find that at bethandryan.ca. Thanks for tuning in.
Bye. Don't include that.